Good morning, children. We have been studying about capacitors and electrostatics. Okay, in today's class, we will be studying capacitors part 4. Okay, so it is a continuation of series parallel combination of capacitors. So we have studied how to solve questions related to simple applications of series and parallel combination. But in today's lecture, we will be studying about 3 important rules you should have to know regarding series parallel combinations. Okay, look at all the 3 of them, which are very important for solving complicated questions. So the first thing we will discuss today is what is a Wheatstone bridge and how to apply it for finding out the equivalent capacitance in capacitors. Okay, the first application, okay, that is Wheatstone bridge principle. So look at what is the Wheatstone bridge principle. Okay, so this is a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, you have a set of 5 capacitors arranged as shown in the figure. Okay, so this type of arrangement we call it as a Wheatstone bridge arrangement. So I am showing you 5 different capacitors connected between P, Q, R and S. Let me name them as C1, C2, C3 and C4. And if you have a power supply between P and R, that means we are going to connect a battery which is going to charge the system of these 5 capacitors. So between diagonally opposite points we have a power supply. Let the voltage applied be V. Then the Wheatstone bridge principle says that in this type of arrangement, if C1 by C2 becomes equal to C3 by C4. I repeat, if the ratio of these two capacitances becomes equal to C3 by C4, you can also write it this way, C1 by C3 equal to C2 divided by C4, then no charge will be stored on this capacitor which is C5. Then the charge on C5 would be 0. And if there is no charge stored in this vertical capacitor, whenever you get a system of these 5 capacitors in the form of a Wheatstone bridge, you can remove this central capacitor. So if I remove this central capacitor, now you can very easily find out the equivalent capacitance. See, the first 2 capacitors, C1 and C3 are in series, C2 and C4 are in series, and the 2 branches are in parallel combination. But when can we apply this rule? Only if it satisfies the condition. Okay, what is the necessary condition? C1 by C2 must be equal to C3 divided by C4. Now I'll show you why is it so. If the charge on central capacitor is 0, I'm going to prove that C1 by C2 is equal to C3 by C4. Proof is just for understanding. Okay, it's not a part of any subjective syllabus, but just to know why this condition is true. Okay, for that, let us suppose from this battery we are getting a charge Q. So anyway you can take it. Okay, I'll take the charge given out by this battery as Q. After reaching this junction, I'll distribute this charge as Q1 and the remaining charge as Q minus Q1. Okay, plus and plus. Obviously this would be minus and minus. And this Q1 after reaching this junction, again I will divide it as Q2. So the remaining charge will pass through C3, which is Q1 minus Q2 plus and minus. Now continue the same. From this branch we are getting a charge Q2. Q2 from here, Q1 minus Q2 from here, both of them will combine. We get it as Q minus Q1 plus Q2 coming out of C4, and all of them put together you will get back the charge. So I did nothing, I have distributed the charge which is supplied by the battery among the capacitors. I took this as Q1, Q minus Q1, central one is Q2, this is Q1 minus Q2, and here charge is Q minus Q1 plus Q2. And now I will apply the voltage rule. That means if I take this closed loop, if I find out the total potential from P to Q, then Q to S again S to P, we know potential difference in a closed loop must be equal to 0. So I'll start writing this relation for these two loops, that is P, Q, S and P. Similarly for Q, R, S and Q. So start for the loop P, Q, S, P. Okay, I'm writing the equation for voltage. Start from P to Q. You are moving from positive to negative, that means from high to low potential. So we have a minus sign. Potential difference across this capacitor would be charged by its capacitance. So charge here is Q1 divided by C1. And when you move from Q to S, again you are moving from high to low. I'll give a minus sign. Charge is Q2, capacitance is C5. Q2 divided by C1. And when I come back from S to P, we are moving from negative to positive, low to high. Then your potential would be positive. So if I write this as a positive value, okay, so look at the relation. Plus, for this branch, charge is Q minus Q1 divided by, what is the capacitance here? C2. Call this as equation 1. And I told you that charge on the central capacitor is 0. If there is no charge on the central capacitor, you can put Q2 as 0. If I make Q2 0, from this relation I get Q1 by C1 as Q minus Q1 divided by C2. Call this as 1 dash. Okay, so this is the first equation by applying the total voltage or by taking the total voltage for this closed loop. Similarly, I will take the closed voltage for the second loop starting from Q, R, S and Q. So for the loop Q, R, S and Q. If I write the voltage rule similar to the previous, start from here, positive to negative, minus of Q1 minus Q2 divided by capacitance is C3. When I move from negative to positive, it is plus Q minus Q1 plus Q2 divided by C4. The capacitance of this capacitor is C4. Then negative to positive, again plus Q2 divided by C5 should be 0. Okay, I am equating it to a 0. Now again put the same condition, Q2 should be equal to a 0. So when you put Q2 as 0 even in this second equation, if I call this as equation 2, so put Q2 as equal to 0, you get Q1 by C3. Here Q2 goes to 0 and this Q2 also will become 0. We will get Q minus Q1 divided by C4. Call this as equation 2 dash. Now I have got two relations in C1 and C2. This is one relation and this is the other relation. Now if I divide these two relations, 1 dash divided by 2 dash, okay, I will write the division over here. Then tell me what will happen. Q1 and Q1 gets cancelled. Q minus Q1 and Q minus Q1 also gets cancelled. So 1 by C1 by 1 by C3. C3 by C1. Okay, dividing 1 and 2. 1 dash and 2 dash. Q minus Q1 and Q minus Q1 gets cancelled. 1 by C2 by 1 by C4 will be C4 divided by C2. So what does this imply? C1 by C3 is equal to C2 by C4, or you can also write C1 by C2 is equal to C3 divided by C4. So this was the condition I told you, which is called as a Wheatstone bridge principle. So though the derivation is only for a proof that C1 by C2, if it is equal to C3 by C4, charge on the central capacitor is 0, you just finally have to remember the final result. So whenever you have a Wheatstone bridge given in the question, check whether C1 by C2 is equal to C3 by C4. If you get that C1 by C2 is equal to C3 by C4, immediately remove the capacitance which is connected between Q and S. You get a simplified circuit and you can find out the equivalent capacitance. So since you have studied how to apply this or what is a Wheatstone bridge principle, look at some questions related to Wheatstone bridge principle. Okay, so observe this question. Okay, find equivalent capacitance for the given circuits. Okay, 4 different capacitors. Okay, this is how the values of capacitance are given, and the question is you have to find out the equivalent capacitance. So I may give the voltage also, say let the voltage be 10 volts. So I may ask you more number of questions. Find the charge supplied by the battery. This can also be a question. Okay, so to get all these type of questions, first check out. Because in this question you can clearly see that it's a Wheatstone bridge principle, or you can apply a Wheatstone bridge principle. Check whether it is balanced or not. 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. So 1 by 2 and 2 by 4 are giving you the same ratio. So then we say the bridge is balanced. And since the bridge is balanced, okay, what is the next step we have to do? Remove the capacitor which is present at the center. If I remove this central capacitor, now you can clearly see 1 and 2 are in series, 2 and 4 are in series. So what will be the equivalent circuit for it? 1 and 2 in series. 1 into 2 by 1 plus 2. That is 2 by 3 microfarad. These two are in series. 4 into 2 by 4 plus 2. 8 by 6. And then you have connected it to a battery of 10 ohms. Now this also I can write it as 4 by 3. Okay, 4 2 is 8, 4 plus 2 is 6. I have simplified it as 4 by 3 microfarad. And now you can see these two capacitors are in parallel combination. So what should be your equivalent capacitance? Should be 2 by 3 plus 4 by 3. That is 6 by 3. Nothing but 2 microfarad. See, we have got the answer in a simple way just by checking whether it is a balanced bridge or not. And once you get the capacitance, it's very easy to determine the charge supplied by the battery. Voltage is given as 10 volts. We know C equivalent. So what should be the charge supplied by the battery? Q is equal to C equivalent into V. C equivalent we have got 2 microfarad. Voltage is 10. So answer will be 20 microcoulomb. So this gives you the amount of charge which the battery has supplied to the system. And after that there may be more number of questions like find the charge on 1 and 2 microfarad, or what is the charge on 2 microfarad and this 4 microfarad. That means what is the charge on the upper branch and lower branch. So if that is the question, let's see how to find out the charges. Okay, to get the charge on upper and the lower branches. So look at the total capacitance on the upper branch. Did we get it as 2 by 3? And the total capacitance of the lower branch is 4 by 3. So this charge which is supplied by the battery, Q, is divided between these two. And since they are in parallel combination, I told you that in parallel combination, Q1 is to Q2 is in the ratio of C1 is to C2. Charge is distributed in the order of their capacitance. So if capacitance is more, it will get more charge. If capacitance is less, it will get less charge. Now check out what is the ratio of C1 and C2. 2 by 3 is to 4 by 3. Is it in the ratio C1 is to C2? C1 is the capacitance of the upper branch and the lower branch. I am taking the ratio. It is 2 is to 4. That is nothing but 1 is to 2. Then what should be the charge of C1? See, it is getting 1 part out of 3 of the total charge. That means charge on the upper branch. Okay, this is Q1. Okay, Q1 I will write is 1/3 of total charge. Because the ratio is 1 is to 2, it will get 1 part out of 3 into 20. So the charge on the upper two capacitors will be 20 by 3 microcoulomb. And what will be the charge on the lower branch? That means on these two capacitors, 2 and 4, Q2, 2 parts out of 3 into 20. So this will get a charge of 40 by 3 microcoulomb. So this is how a number of questions can be easily answered once you know how to find out this equivalent capacitance. So in this question, I have given you 3 answers. To find out what is the equivalent capacitance, we have got the answer as 2. The total charge supplied by the battery, which is 20 microcoulomb. Charge on the upper 2 capacitors, it is 20 by 3 microcoulomb. And charge on the lower 2 capacitors is 40 by 3 microcoulomb. So this is a simple application which is based on the Wheatstone bridge principle. But every time, don't expect that directly they will give you a question where Wheatstone bridge is visible. Sometimes you have to observe it to identify a Wheatstone bridge. So let us look into those type of questions also. Okay, the other way of representing a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, so these are other forms of Wheatstone bridge. Okay, find out the equivalent capacitance between A and B, okay, for these given circuits. Okay, one more question I will give you. For all these questions, you are asked to find out what is the equivalent capacitance across A and B. Okay, this terminal is A and here you have B. Okay, in this question, I will take all the capacitors as 5 microfarad. Okay, one more construction, C bit. This terminal is A and B. Okay, so these are 3 other forms and you have to calculate what is the equivalent capacitance. So look into the first question carefully. See, from A, we have 2 capacitors, 2 and 2. From the opposite side, again we have 2 capacitors, 4 and 4. So the junction of these 2, that means the junction of 2 and 4, this is the junction. This is again the junction of 2 and 4, this is another junction. So this part is connected to a 5 microfarad capacitor. So if you observe carefully, you can understand that it is a Wheatstone bridge. So it's not given in the form of a rhombus, but in the form of a linear circuit. See, this is the central capacitor connecting the junction of 2 and 4 and 2 and 4. Now check whether it is balanced or not. If I call this as C1, this is C2, C3, C4. C1 by C2, 1 by 2 is equal to C3 by C4, 2 by 2, 4 by 4. They have an equal ratio. Since C1 by C2 is equal to C3 by C4. So what should be the charge on the central capacitor? 5 should be balanced. It's a balanced Wheatstone bridge. I can remove this central capacitor. See, if I remove the central capacitor, so you can clearly see 2 and 4 are in series, 2 and 4 are in series. Now I don't think it is difficult to calculate the equivalent capacitance. So find out what should be the equivalent capacitance. I'll just give you a 2 minutes time and tell me the answer. How are 2 and 4 connected in series? Again 2 and 4 in series, and the two branches are in parallel. So what should be your answer for the equivalent capacitance? Got the answer? Okay, look at the answer. 4 and 2 in series would be 2 into 4 by 2 plus 4. I am writing the answer for parallel combination, and the two branches are in series, so multiply this with 2. 4 2s 8, 8 2s 16 by 6. That is 8 by 3 microfarad. Okay, hope you got the answer. That should be 8 by 3 microfarad. Now look into the B bit. Okay, think of it. What should be your answer for B bit? See, when A and B terminals are together, in the previous class I told you, how will you solve the question? When A and B are together, unfold the circuit. So use the principle of unfolding. Hold this terminal B, pull it out. Hold the terminal A. This also I will open the circuit. See, if you pull this terminal A outside, your diagram looks like this. I am keeping this triangle apart as it is. See, B we have pulled it outward. So B has come till here. This is 5, 5, 5. And since I have pulled A also in the outward direction, the two capacitors which are connected to A will come out. This is the terminal A, 5 and 5. Now could you understand that it's a Wheatstone bridge? Check whether it is balanced or not. 5 by 5 is equal to 5 by 5. So what should be the charge on the central capacitor? 0. Remove the central capacitor. If you remove the central capacitor, again 5 and 5 are in series. 5 and 5 are in series. The combination is in parallel. So you can easily find out the equivalent capacitance as equal to 5 microfarad. Okay, so this would be the answer for B bit. Now come to C bit. C bit, you can clearly see these two capacitors are C1 and C2, C3 and C4, and this is your central capacitor. It is again a balanced Wheatstone bridge. And since it's a balanced Wheatstone bridge, remove the central one. 1 and 2 are in series, so equivalent capacitance would be 1 into 2 by 1 plus 2, that's 2 by 3. Below also 1 and 2 are in series, you will get the answer 2 by 3. Now how are 2 by 3 and 2 by 3 in parallel? So what should be your equivalent capacitance? C equivalent will become 4 by 3 microfarad. So this is how you can use the Wheatstone bridge principle and solve the questions whenever you have a set of 5 capacitors in the form of a Wheatstone bridge. So you need to identify how is the Wheatstone bridge arrangement given in the question. So this is the first one, what we wanted to discuss in today's class, okay, regarding Wheatstone bridge principle. Okay, so now coming to the second rule. So what will you do if suppose it's an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge? So in all the questions I have given the capacitances such that it is a balanced Wheatstone bridge. You are removing the C5 capacitor, upper 2 and lower 2 are in parallel combination, and we were simplifying the circuit. But suppose, okay, look at this question, then how do we solve it? Okay, if it is an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay, observe the circuit. 1, all are in microfarad. Okay, now tell me, is that a bridge, Wheatstone bridge? It is a Wheatstone bridge, but it is not balanced. Just check. 1 by 5 is not equal to 4 divided by 3. And since the bridge is not balanced, now our principle is not going to work. You can't remove the central capacitor. So in such a case, there is one more method to solve this type of questions, that is called star delta conversions. Okay, so it is very helpful in solving complicated networks. Again I tell you, you can solve such type of questions by using a method called star to delta or delta to star conversions. So let us see the second one today, the second principle. What is the star delta conversion? Later on I will come back to this question and show you how to solve it by using star delta network. Okay, coming to this star delta network, the meaning of star delta network is converting a circuit from Y shape to delta. Okay, so this is a symbol. Okay, Y to delta or the reverse. Delta to Y. Okay, so sometimes they call it as star delta conversion, different names. Star delta transformation. Okay, the same thing is also called as Y to delta transformation. And in a few books you will also find this way. It is also called as pi delta transformation, but most often two commonly used names are either star delta transformation or Y to delta transformation and vice versa. Okay, so it's not always a rule that you have to convert Y to delta. You can even convert delta to a 1. But before we apply it, look at the formulas first. I will also show you how these formulas are being derived. Again, derivation is only for your understanding. Finally, you should remember the result. That means the final formula for applying it in numericals, because you don't get enough time in NEET or in JEE Mains to derive the relation and then apply. So better remember the final result. So first I will tell you the formulas, then later on the conversion. So assume that you have 3 different resistors or capacitors. Okay, because here we are studying about capacitors, I am showing you capacitors. Similarly, you can do it for resistors also. Okay, I name these 3 terminals as A, B and C. Across A, I have a capacitor R1. To the terminal B, I name this as R2. And a capacitor, not resistor, I am sorry. These should be capacitors. I repeat. Okay, so this is A, B and C. Okay, let me call this capacitance as C1. To terminal B, I will call it as C2. And to this terminal, I will call it as C3. Okay, we have 3 capacitors in the form of star or a Y shape. And now I want to transform it into delta. That means I am not changing this A, B and C. Instead of these 3 systems, I want to replace it with one capacitor here, another capacitor between A and C, and one more capacitor between B and C. So here the dotted line represents a delta network. So we want to transform this Y network to delta network. I'll give you the network here. 3 capacitors across A, B and C. This is A, this terminal is B, and here you have a terminal C. I'll name this capacitor between A and B. Okay, whatever capacitor I am replacing between A and B, which is opposite to C, as RC, CC, opposite to B as CB, opposite to A as CA. So I want to know the values of CA, CB and CC whenever you want to transform this Y shape into a delta network. So for converting it, look at the answer. So if you want to fill the capacitor between A and B, that means I am giving you the formula for CC. So look at the shortcut method, easy method to remember. If you want to replace the capacitor between A and B, it is equal to product of these 2 capacitors. That means CA is equal to C1 into C2 divided by sum of all the three. C1 plus C2 plus C3. I repeat, capacitance between A and B. What is the capacitance between A and B? We have named it as CC. CC should be equal to product of these two. That means C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. Now similarly, tell me what should be the answer for capacitance between B and C. This is the capacitance between B and C, which we named it as CA. So if I want the answer for CA, this capacitance, it is product of these two. C2 into C3 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. Similarly, if I want to get the capacitance between A and C, what is the name we have given? CB. So what should CB be equal to? Product of these two. C1 into C3 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. So in case of capacitors, whenever you get a Y-shaped network and you want to transform it into delta, what are the formulas for transformation? Okay, CA, CB and CC are given by these formulas. Formulas are only for remembering, but the shortcut method to remember is whichever branch you are replacing in. Suppose I want the capacitance between A and B, take the product of these two terminals which are connecting to A and B, C2 and C1 divided by this. So previously we have discussed how to convert a Y shape into a delta network. Now let's see the reverse. Okay, so if you have a triangular network of 3 capacitors, how to replace it with a Y-shaped network. Okay, come back to the same diagram. Okay, so let A, B and C be the 3 terminals. Okay, opposite to A we have CA, opposite to B is CB and opposite to C is CC. So this we want to convert it into a Y shape with C1, C2 and C3. Okay, now I need to find out the values of C1, C2 as well as C3. So to get this answer, I will give this with a dotted line. Okay, between A, B and C, we are modifying it into a Y shape. Okay, this is called Y transformation. Capacitors were C1, C2 and this one is C3. So remember this formula. To get the value of C1, capacitance C1 is given by the relation CACB plus CBCC plus CA into CC numerator divided by, if you are finding the capacitance C1 opposite to C1, see C1 is connected between CB and CC. The one which is not connecting this junction A, that is nothing but CA. So you will get the denominator as CA. Similarly, if you have to find the value of C2, numerator will remain the same. CA into CB, CB into CC plus CA into CC divided by the capacitor which is opposite to C2. So this is C2, opposite to this we have CB divided by CB. And similarly C3. CA into CB, CB into CC, CA into CC whole divided by CC. So these are the 3 formulas required for converting delta to Y. And the opposite. Okay, so once again I am writing the formulas. Okay, if you are converting Y to delta, okay, what were the formulas I told you just now? If this is A, B and C, A, B and C, I'll call this as C1, C2, C3. Opposite to A is CA, opposite to C, CC, opposite to B is CB. Okay, what did we get the previous formulas? CA, CB and CC. Okay, to get CA, since CA is between B and C, it is a product of these two. C2 into C3 by C1 plus C2 plus C3. And similarly, what was the formula for CB I told you? Since CB is between 1 and 3, C1 into C3 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. And for CC, for this capacitor between 1 and 2, C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, so you can remember this set of formulas for converting star to delta and opposite, that is delta to star. And if at all, if all the three capacitors are of equal capacitance, then what would be the value of C1, C2 and C3? Okay, just check out. If you are converting triangular to Y shape, and if CA, CB and CC are equal, all these are of equal capacitance, then you will get the answer C square plus C square plus C square, that is 3C square divided by C. Your answer would be 3C. This will also be 3C, and here also we get it as 3C, provided the capacitors are identical. Similarly for this case, that is for Y to triangular construction, if they are identical capacitors, then what would this answer become? C by 3, C by 3 and C by 3. Okay, provided all the capacitors are identical, then it would become C by 3 in this case and 3C in this particular case. Okay, now I will tell you how did I get these particular relations. Okay, though I am asking you to remember, if at all if you want to know why these relations are being used, okay, so I'll give the equation, simplification you can try and solve. Okay, so look at the derivation part. Okay, how to convert one network to another. Okay, say you have a triangular network between A, B and C. Okay, so this capacitor opposite to C is CC, CA opposite to B, CB. Suppose I want to convert it into a Y network between A, B and C. Okay, name them C1, C2 and C3. Okay, look at how did I get these relations. Okay, for getting the relations, first let us connect a power supply between A and B in both the cases. Okay, suppose I have connected a battery between the terminals A and B. Here also I have connected a battery between the terminals A and B. So what is the equivalent resistance of this circuit between A and B? If you observe the circuit, these are the two terminals. CB and CC are in series, that is in parallel to CC. Okay, I am connecting a battery between A and B to get the equivalent capacitance of this network. So what is the equivalent capacitance if I connect a battery between A and B? So first I will write the first equation, between A and B. My equivalent capacitance of this circuit between A and B. These two capacitors are in series. So equivalent capacitance would be CA into CB by CA plus CB. That is parallel to CC. Okay, this is the answer. From this network, what will be your answer? This is an open end, so no charge will flow through it. And this battery is supplying the capacitance or charge only to C1 and C2. C1 and C2 are in series combination. So the equivalent capacitance would be, if two capacitors are in series, C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. So whatever capacitance I get by connecting a power supply between A and B in the first circuit, answer should be same even if I connect a battery between A and B. Okay, since these two should be equal, I got the equivalent capacitance of this circuit by using this relation. Since these two are in series and it is in parallel, again these two are in series, it's an open circuit, no charge will flow through C3. Got the first equation? So this is the first relation between CA, CB, CC and C1 and C2. But because there are three unknowns, C1, C2 and C3, we need three relations to solve this circuit. So one equation I have got. Second is, connect a power supply between B and C. Okay, now I will remove this. If I connect a battery between B and C. Here also I will connect a battery between B and C. You should get the same capacitance. So what is the equivalent capacitance if the battery is between these two terminals? Now this time, CB and CC are in series, parallel to CA. So find the parallel combination. CB into CC by CB plus CC plus CA should be equal to, okay, this is between B and C. Now if I connect a battery between B and C, this is open. C2 and C3 are in series. So C2 into C3 by C2 plus C3, call this as equation 2. Now the last, hope you understood how to write the last equation now. So where should we connect the battery between? AB finished, BC finished, now between A and C. Imagine a battery between A and C in both the circuits. Now these two are in series parallel to CD. So between A and C, equivalent capacitance. CA and CC are in series. So CC into CA by CC plus CA plus CD should be equal to C1 and C3 are in series. No charge will flow through C2. C1 into C3 by C1 plus C3, call this as equation 3. So these are the three relations which we'll be using to get our required results. So since we don't get time to solve all this and then find C1, C2, C3, we ask you to remember the final result. Okay, how to convert star to delta and then delta to star. So I'm not showing you the solving part. Okay, you can simplify and find out C1, C2 as well as C3, or you can also find CA, CB as well as C3. The final result will be the same what I gave you in the beginning. So this is the second principle that you need to know for solving complicated networks. So again I repeat, I told you about Wheatstone bridge principle. Second is star delta conversion. Now let's see how to apply it. Okay, I told you the formulas, now I have to tell you how to apply. Let's go back to the question what I gave you, unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay, if the bridge is balanced, you will remove the central capacitor and simplify. But if it is an unbalanced bridge, I told you we'll be using star delta conversion. But let's see how to use that star delta conversion for an unbalanced bridge. Okay, what was the question? Okay, I gave a network of 5 capacitors. Some value 1, 3, 4, 5 and 10 microfarad. Any numbers as per the question. I am taking this as an example. Okay, now how do we find out the equivalent capacitance between A and B? Okay, so this time 1 by 3 is not equal to 4 divided by 5. Okay, it's an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. And since it's an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge, now let's see how to use my star delta conversion. If you observe these 3 terminals, okay, do we have a T-shaped network or a Y-shaped network? Now I will replace it with delta. That means between these 2 terminals, I want to add one capacitor. Between these 2 capacitors, I will replace it with a new capacitor. And between these 2, another capacitor. Okay, so that you can remove this Y shape with this triangle. What is the formula I told you? Whenever you have to connect a capacitor between these 2 terminals, product of C1 and C2 divided by C1 plus C2 plus C3. So first take the product. What should be this value? 1 into 4. 4 by 1 plus 4 plus 10. 15. Okay, again I am repeating. If you need to fill up this capacitor, product of C1 and C2 divided by the sum. What is the product of 4 into 1? 4. 1 plus 4 plus 10. Answer will be 15. So we got this. Similarly, fill up this capacitor. 1 into 10. 10 by 15. This point. 10 into 4. 40 divided by 15. Okay, now I will redraw the circuit. Now you can remove the central 3 capacitors with this delta. So I am removing them. Now this is how your circuit looks like. Now I will make them into continuous lines. Now look at this. 4 by 15, 10 by 15, 3, 5, 40 by 15. And once you get this, hope you understood how to simplify it further. How are these 2 capacitors connected in parallel? These 2 also in parallel. And then series, finally it is parallel to 4 by 15. Okay, now I don't think it's difficult to solve. One more step I will show you. 10 by 15 and 3 are in parallel combination. Upper one I am not changing. 4 by 15 will remain as it is. These two are in parallel. Add the values. 10 by 15 is 2 by 3 plus 3. 2 by 3 plus 3, 11 by 3. Again, these two are in parallel combination. Add both of them. 8 by 3 plus 5, 15 plus 8, 23 by 3. Okay, see, this is your further simplification. Again, I repeat, this is 8 by 3 plus 5, 15 plus 8, that is 23 divided by 3. This is 11 by 3. How are these two capacitors now connected in series? And the combination is in parallel. For series, what should be the answer? On further simplification, you can reduce the circuit. I am writing it here. 11 by 3 and 23 by 3 are in parallel combination, series combination. 4 by 15. C1, C2 by C1 plus C2, 11 by 3 into 23 by 3 divided by sum, 34 by 3, that will be 11 into 23 divided by 34, 11 into 23 divided by 34. Now how are these two capacitors connected in parallel combination? So your final answer, C equivalent, would be sum of these two, 4 by 15 plus 11 into 23 divided by 34. Okay, so this part is only a mathematical simplification, so you can find out the answer. Okay, so here my process or my point is, so whenever you have a T shape and it's an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge, you can use star delta conversion, and once you reduce your circuit, after reducing, it becomes a simple circuit of series and parallel combinations. You can simplify and get the answer. So this is one example where we have converted a T shape into a Y shaped network. Now opposite. Okay, so where Y shape we will be converting into, delta will be converting into 1. Okay, look at another example here. Some complicated circuit is given. Okay, say for example, a triangle inside another triangle, and every edge of this triangle has a capacitor. Okay, I'll take all the capacitors as C. Any value may be given. Okay, for simplicity I have taken it as C. And now you have to find out what is the equivalent capacitance across A and B. And now if you observe the circuit, it looks complicated, and then now we need some simplification. Okay, we are not able to understand which are in parallel and which are in series combination and so on. Now you can clearly see we can reduce it by using a star delta conversion. Identify a triangle. Okay, look at the innermost triangular network. So I will replace this innermost triangle with a Y-shaped network. Okay, the dotted line represents Earth. And for representing it, here I need to replace them with 3 capacitors. So what are the formulas I told you for triangle to delta conversion, Y conversion? If it is from triangle to Y conversion, the capacitors across these edges. Okay, if I call this as A, B and C, C1, C2 and C3. What is the formula for C1, C2 and C3? CA, CB, CC, CA divided by, opposite to C1 you have to take it as CE. But here the advantage is all the 3 capacitors are of same capacity, A, B and C are identical. Then what will be your C1? C square, 3C square divided by C, that is nothing but 3C. Now you can make use of this result. So instead of this triangle, if I replace this with a dotted Y shape, every edge of this Y has a capacitance of 3C. Okay, if I modify my circuit, let's see how does the circuit look like after modification. I'll write it below. Outermost triangle, I am not making any changes. AB. Even this part is not going to change. This inner triangle, if I replace with Y. First I am showing it by dotted line, later you can put the values. This was C, C, here we had C, a capacitance C, C and C. What did I tell you? What should be the capacitance in this branch? It should be 3 times of C because all the 3 are identical. So write one more capacitance, that is 3C. Here also I will make it 3C. This also would become 3C. See, after converting this triangle into delta, okay, we have got a modified circuit. Now you can clearly observe these two are in series, these two are in series and these two are in series. If 3C and C are in series, answer would be 3C by 4, product by sum, C1, C2 by C1 plus C2. Again simplify the circuit now. Outermost one I am not changing. Bottom is also C. Here also we have C between A and B. Okay, if I replace these two as 4C by 3, 4C by 3, I will get 3 capacitors, each having 4C by 3. Got it? Now if I close this branch, this is your Wheatstone bridge. Check whether it is balanced or not. C by 4C by 3 is equal to C by 4C by 3. So what should be the current in this middle capacitor? 0. If it is 0, we know we can remove that. Okay, remove it. After that I will leave it to you. Now see, we have got a simplified circuit. How are C and C connected in series? 4C by 3 and 4C by 3 in series, and all the 3 branches are in parallel combination. Now reduce the circuit, C and C in series would become C by 2. This is C by 2. 4C by 3, 4C by 3 in series will become 2C by 3. And one more C we have in the denominator in the last branch. And how are all the 3 capacitors in parallel? Okay, since all the 3 of them are in parallel combination, I think now it's not difficult to solve. Okay, I will write it here. This equivalent circuit. C by 2, C and C in series. 4C by 3, 4C by C in series, it will be 2C by 3. And below this we have C. And now since all the 3 of them are in parallel combination, you can just go for simple addition. So what will be your C equivalent equal to? C plus 2C by 3 plus C by 2. Take LCM. 6 plus 4 plus 3C. Okay, that's nothing but 13C divided by 6. So this is how, depending on the question, you have to know how to convert star to delta or delta to star conversions can be applied. And you can further simplify the circuit. Okay, if you want to go with one more example, I'll give you one question. Okay, you try and tell me the answer for it. Okay. Okay, triangular or I'll give you a pyramid. Okay, square pyramid. Okay, assume that this is a square pyramid. Not so clear. Okay, point is above the plane. Join all the 4. I'll name this as A, B, C and D, and this point is O. Okay, imagine as if it is protruding from the space in the space, and every end has a capacitor C. That means here we have C. See, across every edge you can take it as C. So I want you to find out what is the equivalent capacitance between A and B. Okay, for a square pyramid, how many capacitors altogether? 4 on the top, 4 on the base. 8 capacitors, each of capacitance C, are in the form of a pyramid. And you need to find out the equivalent capacitance between